This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Do you need some extra motivation in your life? Are you looking to be inspired? If so, then look no further than the Good God Company.
At the Good God Company, their mission is to create and clothe all loving humans with their unique, inspiring, and beautifully designed t-shirts.
All of the products from the Good God Company are equally designed to motivate you and improve your life. From their mugs, workout tanks, to eye-appealing shirts and sweatshirts.
Learn more about their renowned products by visiting thegoodgodcompany.com. That's thegoodgodcompany.com.
The Good God Company is proud to support Public House Media. The Good God Company. I'm feeling good.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to Coffee with Katie on Public House Media, sponsored by the Good God Company. Yes, once again, I am on my own. Keith is working, so he tells me. Check out this amazing mug I have. Go on phmedia.com, buy one for yourself. It's awesome. I think we've mentioned before, Keith's client is Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs. And Nathan's, hi David, thanks for joining. Nathan's is the official hot dog of Major League Baseball. And this week is the All-Star break. Tonight's the Home Run Derby. Tomorrow's the All-Star game. So, of course, Nathan's is present for that. And thus, Keith needs to be present. And he informed me this morning that he would not be joining me for our show, and I was going to do it on my own. So, lucky for all of us, I thought we'd talk about baseball. Because it's what I know. And that's where Keith is. The Home Run Derby started in 1985. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of people hitting as many home runs as they can. The All-Star Game is tomorrow night. That started back in 1933. And it was supposed to be called the Game of the Century. But they did it every year, so couldn't be the game. So they had to call it the All-Star Game. Anyway. It's like the Pro Bowl for football. No one cares. We just don't care. But I could tell you some cool stories. I thought since tonight is the Home Run Derby, I would tell you about my two favorite home run stories, both at Wrigley Field. Ready for this? I had to make my own coffee today. It's not great. I need Keith to come home and make coffee. I'm not good at this. Anyway, two most famous home runs. One, everybody knows, Babe Ruth's called shot. You don't have to know baseball to know Babe Ruth. You don't even have to know baseball to know the term called shot, really. But I'll walk you through it. The 1932 World Series, Yankees and Cubs. The Yankees had won Games 1 and 2 in New York. Game 3, they're in Chicago, October 1st. Fifth inning, the score is tied at 4. Babe Ruth comes up to the plate. This has been a really contentious World Series. This isn't a, hey, let's laugh while I'm on first and you're a first baseman and it's a nice day. No, this is angry people playing angry people. Things are going on. And they're being especially mean to the Babe. Babe comes up, like I said, 5th inning, tied at 4. Charlie Root is pitching. Naturally, Root and Ruth. Great. And I lost myself. I got distracted. Babe Ruth. Yes, He steps up to the plate. First pitch comes by, strike. He holds up number 1. Second pitch comes by, strike 2. He holds up number 2. Keith, bro, I'm working and I'm here. Yes, thank you, David. I will let him know. Yeah, his work is watching the home run derby. We won't talk about that. So 2 strikes. Babe is really frustrated. The Cubs dugout is really laying into him. It's been rough. He raises his bat, and it looks like he's pointing to the center field bleachers. Knocks it out there. That's where his home run goes. Called a called shot. It's called a called shot. Because he pointed, and that's exactly where it went. Now that's where things get a little fuzzy. It's called his alleged called shot. There are people who were there that say, yeah, definitely, he called it. That's what he was doing. There are people who were there who said, no, there's no way. There's video footage that proves nothing. It will be conjecture till the end of time. If you ask his teammate Lou Gehrig, he says, can you believe that monkey called his own shot? Charlie Root and Gabby Hartnett for the Cubs, like, no way did that guy call his shot. The pitcher says if he called it, I would have knocked him down. He was upset about it. So basically, it depends on what side you're on. You know, you can believe he called it. You can believe he was just pointing at Root. He was pointing at the Cubs dugout. Just enough of this. Come on. We'll never know. So you get to decide what you want. It's one of the great things about stories like that. Oh! Hello, Mr. Fuzzy Face. Did you all see that? He jumped up and attacked. He's been having a very rough time without Keith. You want to come say hi? The South African didgeridoo? Say hello? This is Mr. Fuzzy Face saying hello. Go ahead. The most historic home run, most famous home run in Cubs history is the homer in the Gloaming. September 28, 1938. Back then, we didn't have night games. And games usually started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and were done by 5, without Mr. Fuzzy Face's intent on getting in here, without TV breaks and all the stuff that slows the game down now. Usually a game was done well within 2 hours. Thoughts on the Babe and the Babe Ruth story movies? Ooh, good question, David. Thank you, Mr. Fuzzy Face. I haven't seen them. Isn't that terrible? I haven't seen the Babe Ruth biopics. One, I've been told not to. That it's just bad. But I did hear that the biopic was better than the Babe. I want to say. Do you have an opinion, David? Let me know. Homer in the Gloaming. So a game usually took less than 2 hours to complete back then. September, the days are getting shorter. Fall and winter are coming on. And in 1938, the Cubs have had a rough season, but they put it together last minute in true Cubs fashion. And they're in second place. They're just behind the Pittsburgh Pirates in second place. And the Pirates are in town for a 3-game series. Game 1, Cubs win. Awesome. All the Cubs have to do is win 2 more games against the Pirates and another game against someone else, and they're going to clinch the pennant. The pennant means you won the league. It means you're going to the World Series. I know we're not clear on that. People say, we won the pennant! And I always thought, what does that mean? I don't get it. But it basically means you're going or you went to the World Series. Hello, Mr. Fuzzy Face. He keeps sticking his ear in the way. So, September 28th, Game 2 of this 3-game series with the Pirates. Bottom of the 8th inning, score is tied at 5. and it's getting dark. It's gone past 5 o'clock. So sun's coming down, it's getting dark, getting a little difficult to see. And the umpires say they're going to give it one more inning. You guys can play one more inning. If we don't get a winner here, you're going to play the game over. Back then, they didn't postpone the game. You just had to play the whole thing all over again. So they would have been playing Game 3 the next day, as well as a makeup of the September 28th game. And Gabby Hartnett is the player manager. His pitching staff is sore and tired. He can't have them add another game on top of this one. This has already been a tough, long, drawn-out game. He doesn't have relievers that he can put in for a doubleheader tomorrow. He's got to do something about this. They can't let it go tomorrow. They've got to get it done in the 9th inning. And they have to win so they can go to the World Series. Top of the 9th, Pirates come up, no score. So still tied at 5. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Gabby Hartnett strolls to the plate. It's dark. It is now 5:37 in almost October. So it's dark out. It's called The Gloamin'. It's a reference to a Scottish poem and or song. Both, I think. It's twilight. It's that time between night and day, light and dark kind of thing. It's hard to see. Gabby really can't see the pitches that are coming at him. He can't see the pitcher, you know. So he's swinging on instinct. First 2 strikes. So, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, 2 strikes. He either connects on this one, the Cubs are playing a doubleheader tomorrow that they will probably lose because they're out of pitchers. Third pitch comes at him, swings with everything he's got, out, into the bleachers. No one knew where it was, because no one could see, because it was dark. It was the gloaming. Gabby knew. He knew right away where that ball went. He started his home run trot. He only got to second base. The people poured out of the stands. It was you would think that they had just won the World Series instead of getting one step closer to going to the World Series. It was amazing. There wasn't enough security to keep the people off the field. They just mobbed him. They carried him all the way to home plate and put him down. The home umpire was watching very carefully to make sure that Gabby Hartnett did put his foot on the platter, so it would count and, you know, he wasn't cheating or anything. If you look at pictures of the homer and the gloamin', the only light is the flash of the light bulb that's lighting up Gabby Hartnett as he rounds the bases. It's amazing. You have to look at the pictures. So thanks to that, thanks to Gabby's home run, they only had to play one game the next day, which they beat the Pirates. And then they beat the Cardinals, and then they clinched the pennant, which means that they went to the World Series. But as the Cubs did not win the World Series. That's something not a lot of people know. For a while, we were going to the World Series every 3 years. 32, 35, 38, 42, 45. I think 42. I think so. So when we lost in 45, the last one we went to before 2016, no one expected that to be the last one that we would even go to. It was a huge surprise. We still hadn't won one since 1908, so 30-some years. But we expected to go back in the next couple years. We didn't. Anyway, those are my 2 favorite home run stories in honor of the home run derby tonight. David said the Babe was not that good, but not awful. Babe Ruth's story is atrocious and one of the worst movies ever. Okay, alright, good to know. Do I need to watch it? Since it is one of the worst movies ever, is it still something that I have to see? Let me know, David. But yeah, all I really have to tell you. I wanted to live. Oh, okay. One last story, because it's the All-Star break. You guys might know that Wrigley Field didn't get lights until 1988. We were the last team by 40 years. So our first official completed night Major League Baseball game is August 9th, 1988. But that was all qualified, right? Not a lot of people know that on July 1st, 1943, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League had their All-Star game. You guys have all seen the movie A League of Their Own. That was a real thing. The movie was actually, a lot of it was filmed at Wrigley. The character, Mr. Harvey, the chocolate man, is very loosely based on Phil Wrigley, who owned the Cubs. The Girls League was actually his brainchild. He wanted to keep baseball on the minds and the hearts of the people while the men were away at war. So, no one pays attention to the fact that on July 1st, 1943, the girls hung temporary lights along Waveland and Sheffield Avenues, which surround Wrigley Field, and they had a great night game. Next day, the lights were gone. We didn't get them back for another 45 years. The important thing is the girls did it first. Yeah. Not a lot of people know that, but now you do, so congratulations. If you like watching bad movies, go for it. Prepare for pain. Ooh. So it's something Keith is going to have to suffer through with me. I'm not going to watch it by myself, for sure, David. No. I won't even subject the fuzz to that. That's all I have for you. We usually would play NBA or NFL or humiliate Katie, but even I can't humiliate myself in NFL or NBA. Keith would have to do it for me. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me, David. You always make the show fun. I will be back on Thursday. I think Keith will be here in the city, and we may do a show together, and we may actually do a show that we say we're going to do. I'm not going to do any more audibles for a while. We'll find out. Join us on Thursday at 7:30. Find out. Meanwhile, this has been Coffee with Katie on Public House Media, brought to you by the Good God Company. You're a home run, Katie, David says. Thanks, David. So are you. You have a home run of an evening. And we'll see you guys later. Have a good night.